Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to use Microsoft Word and a bunch of text boxes to make a basic flyer. So there are certainly flyer templates for Word, that's no big deal. However, I want us to practice using some basic features in Microsoft Word and get comfortable using some of these features. It's really not that tough to do. I'm going to take a quick screen capture of this flyer here that I just put together and open up in my image editor. Yeah, so now I've got a visual aid for what we're going to create. I'm going to push this off to the side in my other display, and let's get to work. So I'm going to start on a new blank document. Now I'm doing this on Word 2019, the installed version of Word, and I haven't tried this on Word 365. I get the impression that it would be easier to do on the installed Word, so I think that's what I'm going to go for here. First thing to do is to head over to that layout ribbon. I'm going to change my margins to narrow. I really want this stuff to go all the way out to the edges. We're not going to print for this assignment, but we want to create a flyer understanding that we probably would be printing, so we want to go as far out to the edges as possible. And we'll work from there. Now the first thing I'm going to do in the top portion, top 25% or so of the flyer, the document, is I want a picture of a house. I'm just going to do insert picture, online pictures. I'm going to search for a house photo. There's one right there. I'll click insert and pop it in. And Microsoft Word is going to put in the Creative Commons license and stuff. But I'm going to do this for our assignment. This is okay because we're not putting this out to the public at all. I'm just going to go ahead and select. See, I can select that photo inside of the frame. Control X to cut. Click on this border here. Delete, get rid of it, and then Control V as in Victor to paste. I've got that picture back. Now I'm going to take this picture, and I'm going to do this for a lot of stuff, by the way. I'm just going to position in front of text, and it gives me a lot of control about where this picture is going. Don't worry about that little anchor there. That's if we want to anchor an object to an associated paragraph. Sometimes that comes in handy, but it's not going to be necessary for what we're doing here. And let's see, I'm going to position this picture. I'm just going to eyeball it, try to get as close as I can to the edge. Now, the other thing you can do while the picture or image or object is active, you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard, and I can go up and down, and I'm just going to eyeball it so it looks like it's balanced. I'm not going right to the very edge of my document, but pretty darn close. And then I'm going to size this. It's actually going to look a little funky here. I'll just change the width. I'll stretch it out, because I don't want the image to be too tall and take up too much space. Obviously, if we had a better photo. So I'll do something like that. And yeah, there's my basic photo. Cool. Now beneath this, I'm going to have a big blue chunk with some text on there. And I'm going to use my first text box, which there's going to be a lot of, by the way. So under Insert, there it is, Insert ribbon, text box. I'm just going to do a simple text box. A simple text box is probably going to be the most convenient. Get that text box, position on the front. Now when I work with a text box in Word, click on the border of that text box, or double click. When you click on the border, it's like selecting everything. And what I'll do is go to Shape Outline for the Shape Format ribbon. Shape Outline None gets rid of the border. Shape Fill, I'll make it a bright dark blue. The border is still selected on there. I can jump to the Home ribbon. I can change the font color to white, and I can increase the font size a little bit. Actually, we need to have some text in there, so let me go ahead and do that. I click in there, and I can see the text is selected, so I can type out house for sale. I'm going to press Shift-Enter, which creates a line break, by the way. Offered at, and I'll put in 1,500,000. Cool. Okay, let me click on that border of the text box again, and I'm on my Home ribbon. I can center everything. I can increase all of the font sizes at once. Let's stretch this bad boy out a bit, and I'll get close to my other object. Try to line things up nice and neat though. There we go, that looks pretty good. Now let's see, I'm going to select the individual text, house for sale, and I'll just increase the font size of just those words, make it bold. It looks like it's all in uppercase in my plan, so while that text is selected, I can go to my font command group and All caps, click OK. That's all uppercase, nice. The words offered at are kind of grayed out, so I'll select just those words, offered at, and I'll change the font color to a lighter shade of blue. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. Increase all that bottom text a little bit, make this a little bit taller. I'm going to blow this up even more here. Oh yeah, there we go. Have it take up almost the full width. Now if I click away to the right of my document, I can deselect things and I can just kind of eyeball it and I can see, yeah, things look like they're lining up pretty well. Okay, next part of this flyer, 3 photos. Now I use the same photo, that's fine. That gives us the idea of how it works. And then some semi-opaque labels over those photos. All right, it's gonna be pretty easy. This time I'm going to just click down here. Actually, it doesn't matter where I click. By the way, my insertion point, flashing vertical bar, is really still up at the top because I've just been positioning things around. If I wanted it, I could double click right down here and I could put that insertion point right down there below my document. I don't think I need to though. So I'm going to hit Insert Picture, Online Pictures, and I'm going to search for a living room. There's a living room right there. Yeah, I'll get this one though. And I'll insert it. Cool, really big image, but I'm gonna do the same kind of thing I did before. This is a Creative Commons license. I'm gonna click on that middle picture. Actually, let me click away to deselect. Click on the picture just in the middle. See if I can find it, there it is. Control X to cut. Click on the border of this text box, delete it, and then Control V as in Victor to paste, get that image back in there. Size it down. Now this one's going to take a little bit of trial and error because I want to get 3 of these images side by side. Let me scrunch it up a little bit first. Now I see I've got about 7.5 inches of space just looking at my ruler, but really I have more than that because I'm going out a little bit further. So I'm going to do a little bit of trial and error. I'll just double click on this image. That takes me into picture formatting. And over on the width, I'm just going to adjust that. I don't know what I want. Maybe I want to get 3 of them roughly side by side. 2.9. Okay, now once I feel like that might be a good size, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on that picture, click and hold with my mouse, hold down my control key, and then I'm going to drag to the right, let go of the mouse, let go of the control key, and I've made a duplicate of it. I'll do that again. Click on the picture to select it, click and hold with my mouse, hold down my control key, click and drag, and I can make a duplicate. Let go of the mouse, let go of the control key. Yeah, I guess I was a little bit overzealous in that width there. So let's see. I'm going to select the first one, hold down my Shift key, click on the middle one. Shift key is still held down. Click on that third one. All 3 of them are selected. I'm going to go to Picture Format. I'm going to change the width to 2.75. Let's see what that does for me. Let's see. I'm going to kind of eyeball position, and don't forget I can use my arrow keys to position that far left one. Cool. I think that seems okay. I'm going to grab that middle one, just put it down out of the way. I'm going to kind of use my arrow keys and position this right one a bit. Once again, doesn't need to be perfect. Remember, the goal for this assignment is just to practice positioning things, text boxes, making this flyer. Yeah, click away, see how it looks. Yeah, maybe one more nudge to the right. Cool. And let's see if I've got enough room to squeeze this one right in the middle. Looks like I just about did it. However, I think what I'll do, I'll cheat a little bit. I'll make this middle one just a wee bit narrower. Cool. And then I can use my arrow keys to just kind of position that around. Excellent. So there's my 3 pictures side by side. Now, I also want to get these semi-opaque, semi-see-through little labels there. Those are just text boxes. So let's see. I can go to Insert, Text Box. Once again, simple text box. Don't have to use any of those fancy options. I'll just put it down here to work with it, and I'm going to do in front of text. I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm just going to write living room, and then I'm going to select that text, home ribbon, font characteristics, font command group, all caps, click OK. Click on the border of this text box. I'm still in my home ribbon. Let's see, I want these to be the text is going to be white, so I'll make the text white. I can do that right now. Don't worry, I can't see the text at the moment. We'll fix that soon enough. It's going to be centered, and let me make the font a little bit bigger, even though I can't see it right now. Okay, The border is still selected. I'm going to head over to my shape format ribbon. The shape fill, I'm going to do more fill colors. I'll choose a shade of blue, but then there's also this transparency slider, and I'll just pick something like 40%. Click OK. All right. Make it a little bit narrower, and I'm going to position it over the first image to see how it looks. Looks pretty good, maybe a wee bit darker. So I'll head back to shape fill, more fill colors, and I'll go to the left a little bit, make it more blue instead of purple. I like it. I'm going to size it just so it looks a little bit more balanced. Let me click away. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't know if I got rid of the outline. So let me click on the border of that little text box. And I'm going to go to shape outline and no outline. Click away to look at it. Yeah, once I feel satisfied with it, do that little trick. Remember, click with your mouse, hold down your control key. So I click with my mouse to select it. I'm going to get that four-way arrow, click and hold with my mouse, hold down my control key, drag to the right, make a duplicate, kind of eyeball position it if I can, close enough. Let go of the mouse, let go of the control key, click away just so I can see. Click on it, get the four-way arrow, click and hold with my mouse, hold down my control key, and position that one roughly. Okay, now I can eyeball them a little bit, or I can pinpoint a little more carefully. Click on the border to select everything. Use my arrow keys just to kind of line it up nicely. Same thing with this last one here. Now, I do want you to have skills with grouping. I don't really need to do it here, but if I thought I might want to move all three of these as a group, don't forget we can do that. You can click on one item, hold down your shift key, and you can select multiple items, including these other little text boxes. Sometimes it's tough and I deselect things though. So I'm carefully trying to make sure I get all 6 items selected. And I think I've got all of them selected. So I was holding my shift key down while I did that, by the way. So I've got all 3 pictures, all 3 text boxes, and if I did want to group these, I can let go of my shift key now, by the way. Right click on any one of these, go to group and group. And now it'll let me move this entire block all at once, which is pretty darn convenient. So see if I can put it back here. Oh, that looks pretty good. Excellent. All right, we're moving along nicely. We're well, almost at the very end. So in this part down here, I want 2 text boxes, but I want them to be butted up right next to each other, just slightly different background colors. That doesn't look too bad. So insert, there we go. Text box, simple text box. Put one down there. Once again, good old in front of text, click on the border of it. Actually, let me go ahead and put in some filler text here. I'll write in beautiful place for living. Now underneath that, I know this is too tiny for you to see, but I'm going to write equals lorem parentheses 1 paragraph, 4 sentences each. So equals lorem parentheses 1 comma 4 closing parentheses, then press enter and then backspace. Actually, that's a lot of text, so let me dial that back a little bit and delete just some filler text there. All right, I'm going to click on the border of this. I'm going to go to my shape fill, and I'm going to choose gray, shape outline, no outline. I'm still selected on the border. Home ribbon, let's make that font a bit bigger. I'm going to select the top line and bold it, make that a bit bigger. Cool, cool, cool. And now I'm going to try to position it here. Let's see, I'll use my arrow keys, all right, pop it right there. And then I want to drag this right edge so it's roughly in the middle there. Should be pretty easy. Yeah, that's what we call in the business good enough, right? Okay, I'm going to grab this one, click on the border, hold down my mouse, hold my control key, drag to the right, make a duplicate. Let's use the arrow keys. Oops, let me click again. Arrow keys just to kind of position it. Yeah, maybe 1 more pixel up. I like it. Now the one on the right is actually a darker color. Actually, I'll make this one on the left just a wee bit lighter. So shape format, shape fill, lighter shade of gray. Yeah, that looks fine. Now in my original sample, I had bulleted list, but pretty easy to do either way, right? Bulleted list, paragraph of text, no big deal. Let's do this last part down here. This is actually 3 objects. Text box for there, text box for here, text box for over here. How did we get that line though? Let's figure that out. First, I'm going to make a fake logo for this real estate firm. And I will hit Insert, Text Box, Simple Text Box. Bring this down to work with it. Change it to in front of text. And let me go ahead and write my very creative logo. Okay, click on the border to select everything. Shape outline, no outline. Shape fill. Let's get a nice smoky blue there. Back to the home ribbon. Font color is white. We want bold. And let's bignify it. Make it super big. Just kind of eyeballing it there. That looks pretty good. And then I can size things a little bit. Move this off to the left. Look at it. A little taller. Arrow keys. Yeah, that looks fine. Maybe it's a little bit bigger than what I originally thought, but I can shorten this one that way. Cool, so that was pretty easy. Now for this text down here at the bottom that has this line. So it's another text box, that's pretty easy. And then there's a paragraph border just on one side. So insert, text box, simple text box. You've probably never used so many simple text boxes before. On top of text, and let's see, what have we got here? Marketing office. I know that's too tiny to read. I'm just writing marketing office. Shift enter, which is a line break. Shift enter, shift enter. And then just a fake address, 123 Center Court, shift enter. Fake city, comma, fake state, space, fake zip code, shift enter, email, colon, fake email address. Nice. Select the words marketing office. I'm going to make that bold and increase the font size a bit. Then I'm going to click on the border of this thing and make the font size all a little bit bigger. Nice, there we go. I'm going to move it off a little bit to the left. Click on the border, make sure I clicked on that border. Head over to my shape format, shape outline. I want no outline. Background color is going to stay white. There we go, so there's that shape. Now I'm going to click on the border again. This time though, I'm going to go to the home ribbon, go to my border selection, borders and shading, and I'm going to choose a 2¼ point border, thick border. Style solid is fine, and I'm going to click on the little thumbnail preview over here. I just want a border on the right. Click OK, deselect, and there's that line right there. Cool. This logo is way too big, so I'm going to go back real quick, and I'm going to decrease that font size. Ooh, that was a big decrease. I'm going to manually change it to like 55. I'm going to size this down a little bit. I still want it to be balanced. Take this text box, move it more to the left. Then just use my arrow keys to place it. Click away, off to the right, just to deselect. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Now I can make this a little narrower to get that line a little closer to the text. But that's the basic idea. Now, when I first did this before turning on the recorder, I tried to line it up so that my little divider line was right in the middle there. Just I thought it looked a little bit better. Clearly, my logo was much bigger. So, yeah, I'm okay with that though. And next, really last, is just this little chunk of text right down here with a fake website. So, let's see. Let's just go ahead and insert text box, simple text box. Pop that down there. Select the text inside. www.website.com. Enter equals lorem. One paragraph with 3 sentences each. Closing parentheses. Enter backspace. That still ends up being more text than I want, so I'm going to delete a lot of that. Click on the border, home ribbon, center it, or Control E on the keyboard. Let's go ahead and make that font nice and big. I'm going to select the website in there, make that even bigger and bolder. Looks good. Let's bring it down here. Actually, I can't move it yet, so I need to make sure I get my text wrapping options in front of text. Shape outline, no outline. Fill of white looks good. And then it's just a matter of adjusting that. Then I can use my arrow keys to position the whole thing. Oops, a little too carried away there. All right, well, let's try this to help out. Click away. How's it looking? Oh, pretty good. Now I can see that my white overlap, you can see it if I do this, it actually has, that text box has a white background. So if I click on the border, I can go to the fill and choose no fill. So then it's truly a transparent background. And sometimes that helps quite a bit. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. Let me just move it up a little bit higher. Click away. All right, I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. So here is our picture sample of our sales flyer. Cool. Here is our current one. I think it looks pretty darn good. I never saved it. That's a rookie mistake. Remember, you're turning this in as a participation activity within Blackboard. So don't forget, File, Save As. I'll save to my desktop. There we go. And this is going to be Participation 8 for CIS 101. DOCX file. Remember, I want a DOCX file. Don't send me a hyperlink to a shared web-based document. I want you to be able to download that, work with it locally, and submit that. But there we go. There's our basic flyer using a ton of text boxes, a few images, and just positioning stuff around. So thanks for hanging out with me. Get this turned in, and you'll be doing some more stuff with Microsoft Word. Take care.